And now the spotlight's been focused this week on Oregon's higher education system with the firing of University of Oregon President Richard LaRiviere. So we asked Lars and David to answer this question in our commentary this week. How much should Oregon invest in higher education?
Straight talk from the left and from the right.
The taxpayers of the state of Oregon invest hundreds of millions of dollars every year in higher ed. More than 2/3 of those taxpayers have never seen the inside of a college classroom, and a majority of their children will also never go to college. We invest plenty of money. How it's spent is another question. The dust-up this past week over the firing of the University of Oregon's president came because Richard LaRiviere would not follow the directions of the board that hired him. He wanted to form a separate board of trustees for his school alone so that he wouldn't have to answer to the state board. He was out of line and should have been fired. Here's my suggestion. Demand that entering freshmen be qualified to do college work. Right now, a quarter of entering students cannot. Send them back to community college. Demand that college professors actually teach for the majority of their work week. Many of the best don't. And the average student graduates in about 7 years. That's too long. Charge a penalty for those perpetual students. And let's cut down or eliminate degree tracks that do not lead directly to some kind of profession. Change those things, and there will be plenty of money for higher ed.
Now, straight talk from the left.
The problem between the State Board of Higher Education and ejected University of Oregon President Richard LaRiviere wasn't that he wanted his own board of trustees. So do some other presidents. It wasn't that he wouldn't attend state board meetings. Some of the members might have envied him that. It wasn't that he had his own legislative policy, although board members did think LaRiviere did things he'd promised them he wouldn't do. The problem was money. LaRiviere, like every other Oregon University president, knew he couldn't run a national-level research university on the budget he had. What bothered the board was that LaRiviere wouldn't stop pursuing his own plans for getting more money. LaRiviere never talked about boards without also talking about funding. He wanted his own board as a way to raise more money. LaRiviere wanted the state to issue $800 million in bonds for the University of Oregon as a defense against constantly declining state funding for the university. Other presidents disagreed about all the money going to the U of O, but none of them disagree that Oregon's current funding level is impossible. Firing LaRiviere was one thing. Ignoring him would be disastrous.